And welcome to another edition of Woodsy's Club Tour. We've got superstar West Tigers captain, Api Kororisau, mate. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
How's your break treating you so far, mate?
Really good, mate. Obviously, been a long year, so just enjoying some quiet time, mate.
It'll be good to get away from a bit of footy, isn't it, mate? You've got a pretty hectic schedule coming up as well, Fiji.
Actually, not playing this year.
Oh, you're not playing this year?
No, they only finalised these games maybe 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I already had the family booked for a holiday. Mum, dad, sister, and brother are all gone, so I've opted out for this year's one.
Oh, that's all right, mate. But you've had a long last couple of years, man. You know, the World Cup last year.
Yep, yeah, it's been pretty hectic. I think as well this year's just taking a toll. You know, I've come home with some pretty bad moods, and the families had to deal with me. So, I thought it'd be nice for the kids just to get away.
Oh, we'll get to that stuff later on, mate. Obviously, I normally talk to how I first met. You know, the players that I do interview. Do you remember when we first met?
Yeah, Prime Ministers.
Yeah, Prime Ministers, wasn't it?
It was.
A good little trip. Papua New Guinea was an eye opener for you,
Mate, I'd never been there before, and wow, that was probably the first time we weren't allowed to leave a hotel.
Unbelievable,
yeah,
eh?
It was crazy.
Was that? Remember when we flew home? We got business class seats. Remember?
We did.
There was 4 of us in the plane, like on the team that only got business class.
Yes, I was one.
I don't know why.
Dylan Walker broke
yes.
his ankle, and I was looking after him, so they said, we'll just put you in there to make sure
I
it's
think
right.
didn't Clem just wiggle his way up there with us?
I don't know, but you and Clem were there, and I was
Mate, how good were the seats, but
mate, it was insane.
everyone's at the back, and it was a proper business class. What people don't understand, like when you fly to Papua New Guinea, it's a 4 or 5 hour flight.
Yep.
And you normally just get the little 3x3 rows.
Yep.
And
And now we're laying down.
Yeah, we could
Just
recline.
recline all the way.
What was it? A little bit of beers.
Yep.
All the boys at the back. Get that in ya. All right, we'll start about your career, mate. 2013, obviously before you played first grade, you debuted for Fiji in the World Cup, was it?
Yep.
That was one in England, wasn't it?
Correct.
So
Yes.
was Jared Haynes? No, Haynes, he didn't play that. He played the one before, didn't he?
He played the one before, and I think 17.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
How was it going over there, mate? Like not playing first grade and then mixing it up with all those boys.
No, it was insane, to be honest. There was guys like Kuliwate, I think
Wow.
Petro.
Yeah.
Petro played that World
mate,
Cup
how
as
good
well.
would that be?
Mate, it was insane.
He's like the GOAT.
He's actually the GOAT on and off the field.
Oh,
So everyone's already speaks about how good of a bloke he is, but
yeah.
when it just comes to being around the boys, just leading by example, on and off the drink, it was.
They reckon he can show up, don't they?
Mate.
But you know what? One thing I wanted to ask you actually, because when Jared Hayne obviously he had a bit of struggles, obviously when he got become a superstar, but he reckons when he went back to the camp with Fiji, it just mellowed him out. Like, what makes those camps so brings all the boys together?
Yeah, I think one of the big reasons is everyone understands that they're all there for Fiji,
Yep.
right? It's not like there's no pressure either. So you sort of just get away from the football, and then you sort of just immerse yourself in the culture, and
Yeah.
everyone goes to church. Pretty much most mornings we have
Yep.
a little church service, and then everyone sings and buys in at that stage, and that's sort of what you need. You just need buy-in, and
Yep.
then once you have that, everyone's just together, and I guess we're all just a bunch of Fijians, a bunch of larrikins just enjoying time.
There's some lunatics in that.
There
squad.
is some lunatics.
But you know the one thing I do love when I watch Fiji play? I love the hymn at the start.
Mm,
So what is that about? Because a lot of teams have like a war cry.
yes.
But how did you just get that hymn, or is it just something that's been there from?
No, we used to do it's called the Dhimbi.
Yep.
So the war cry, and
Yep.
I can't remember if it was 2011, maybe 2012. They just sort of decided they wanted to switch it up. Maybe do the church hymn instead.
Yep.
So don't know why exactly they brought it in, but it was great. Like the boys enjoy getting together. Like the way some of the boys sound too when they're all singing.
You know what's funny, right? I've been at a few clubs, and there's always a Fijian boy in each club. And every time, they rock up to training or they rock in, every player tries to sing the hymn. Like, it's crazy, mate. Like, it just attracts everybody.
It does, and
Yeah.
I think it's something that when you see blokes that play footy actually just singing a song together, you don't know how to take it at first, but it actually comes off, and it's
Well, it doesn't Kickout lead is it Kickout that leads?
Kickout's been leading the
Mate,
last few years.
It's unbelievable. Like,
Mate, I honestly, hearing some of these guys sing, I just sing the low parts because I can't sing.
I'd be like, you know
yeah. But no, it's it's one of those things, man. Like everyone's just one goal, one
Yep.
team, and it's just everyone just cares about being Fijian and just having a good time.
Oh, that's unreal, mate. And then after that campaign, you go to 2014. Obviously, you haven't made your debut yet, but you're making a preseason under Maguire at South.
Mhm.
How was that?
Yeah, well, I did 13.
Oh, as well.
Yeah, 13 under him, and I just played cup that whole
Yep.
year. But yeah, that was easily the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yep.
And then that turned into 14, which was again, one of the craziest sort of preseasons I've ever been a part of.
They always talk about like his army camps, his wrestle sessions. You know,
Yeah.
we had Brooksy in earlier to do an interview, and he reckons the army camp was just nothing like he's ever done.
No, there was. So there's sort of some where you can just sort of, they deprive you of your sleep and then they sort of train you.
Yep.
Where these guys were doing like max on both. Like you'll get no sleep and they were like running through places of a night time, like still training. We're trying to do drills like middle of the night, 4 a.m. Like trying to swim in pools. It was crazy.
Unbelievable.
It was great though. Once it's done, it's like if I can get through that,
we can get through that. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, but
it is.
and Brooksy also spoke about, I think, WrestleMania week. Did you?
We didn't have WrestleMania week.
So not that yet.
Nah, we were just. It was wrestle. I think twice a week.
Ooh.
But like the hour and a half sessions inside a closed room, wrestle mats.
Was that at Camperdown?
Sweatbox. No, we were still somewhere near Newtown
Oh,
at the
okay.
time. Yeah, somewhere near Newtown. We had a room there.
And then a story. Were you there when Asatasi from the runs broke down? They reckon he almost had like a little heart attack. He was training that much. I think it was the long runs used Coogee to.
Yeah, the Coogee to Clovelly.
Yeah,
and
Coogee
back?
Clovelly, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Because I've heard so many stories from Madge's training, mate.
Mate, I've heard a story too, but I didn't want to say it on here.
Oh, that's all right,
But
mate.
it's no, he would like break people.
Yeah.
There was no doubt about it.
Yeah,
Like,
but it was sort of like if he knew he could break you, then you could get through it.
Yes.
Isn't that what he was trying to do?
well, that's the whole thing. It's like
Yeah.
you got to get pushed to your breaking point pretty much, and
Yep.
then see how far that is firstly, and then see if you can go past it. Like it's one of those hard things where it's like there's so much science in the games today, but it's like, sometimes you actually do need to get pushed to that point where it's nearly far gone, but then you actually get past it, and then you're like, wait.
There's always something extra you can give, and a lot of kids this day and age don't want to.
They've
Yeah.
never been through something like that, so. Actually, looking back at it, I really enjoyed what I learned from the experience of
Yep.
being pushed that hard. Obviously, at the time, it was a bit different, but especially when they had me in the pool at 4 a.m., mate, I
Oh.
can't swim either. I was like,
Oh, no. Stop
it was awesome. It was awesome.
Was
But
there any
no-
players that on that camp that you sort of think go,
Oh, there was one funny story. I was Ben Tia, and we're in that pool, and
Yep.
I think it was about 4 hours in total.
Benny T is one of our very own here too. So
Ah,
this
yes.
is going to be great.
Yeah,
This
this
will be
is
good.
great. I just remember him. They made us jump in the pool, full kit, shoes,
Yep.
long pants, the long tops, like long sleeve tops, and like full kit tread water. And I can't remember. One of the guys were telling him not to grab the side of the pool.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he was like, let go, and he was like, he ends up just hopping out and goes, go fuck yourself. He was like, we're footy players, not army guys. Fuck off.
That's a typical Benny.
And just snapped, and we're like, yeah, nice. That's
And did
We
anyone
need
else
that.
jump out after that or just
No.
too scared?
no. We were stuck in that pool, man. Everyone was
Oh,
swimming.
So did he get back in the pool?
I
or
think he got back in. He did. He
just,
did.
So he just sort of broke. That was his breaking point.
That was his, get fucked, and then he got back in and finished it off like everyone else.
It's good. At least it shows you, team camaraderie. You get around it. There's
100%.
areas you can always get better at.
It's those stories you live off too. It's just
That's
nice.
it. Oh, it's the best. But then, obviously, later on that year, I think it was round 4, you versus the Raiders. That's your debut. How is that, like, sitting in those sheds? You got GI, you got big semi-Burgess, you got the Burgess brothers. Mate, how was that just going into that?
It was sort of like that sort of mentality was sort of there from 13 as well. I had Michael Crocker at that stage, and
Oh, one of the greats.
like you said, just some great players around me, and I was so shy too. I just sort of sat back, didn't really train when they were doing their team stuff.
Yep.
Just sort of watched. But yeah, when it did come to it, Isaac obviously does his shoulder, and the boys are just like, "You got this." They all back me, and I still think of it to this day. I was just like walking around the shed before the game, going like, my heart's racing. I'm
mate.
so tired already. I haven't even jumped on the field, and yeah, I think I can't remember the game at all.
No.
Nah, it was all a blur. It
Wow.
went that fast, and I was that tired. That's all I remember. And then, after the game, I think I got player's player, which was like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was
How
nice.
good's that?
It was nice. I think it was just running around the place. Was
Right, Oh, good on you, mate.
Yeah.
And do you remember how Madge told you that week?
yeah, I remember. He told me on the Monday.
Yep.
Isaac did his shoulder on the weekend. We come in for training. He goes, "Oh look, I'm gonna play you this week. He's
Yep.
like, I'm not gonna try and hide you or anything. I'll just name you on the side, blah blah blah. So, yeah, it was putting me into his office too. So I was a bit scared because you don't know how to.
You didn't know what you
You
were
don't know
coming
how
for.
to take it. It's like, what's going on here? But yeah, he was good with it, man. And yeah,
The next couple of years at Manly, quite tough.
Yep.
Obviously, struggle a little bit of injury.
mm-hmm.
And then you get, there's a bit of speculation, I think, was it in 2019 that you signed with the Dogs.
yeah, yeah.
So was that ever going to eventuate, or was that...
Mate, I was pretty much heading to the Dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
So that was real, because sometimes in the media you hear things, but you're not sure.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I went. I think there was a couple teams,
Yep.
but Dogs was one of them. And I was pretty much set to go there. They offered like good money, and they were offered, I think, 3 years as well. So I was like, you know what, this is probably it. Honestly, I just wanted to sit on it for a while, and I probably sat on it for about 3 weeks or something, and then I get a phone call from Ivan Cleary.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to catch up, and I was like, oh yeah, sweet. Like, I'll go see what he has to offer, or whatever.
And you've been coached by Ivan before.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, and he just wanted to go chat at his house. I was like, yeah, perfect. Like, and it was mad. I think the one thing that really sold me before anything else is what he didn't ask about footy at all.
Yeah.
He just spoke about family. What am I doing now? How have I been moving like outside of footy? And I was like, that sold me. I was like, this guy sort of knew who I was beforehand.
Yeah.
And then he's wondering like if I've grown outside the field.
Yep.
And yeah, it was just great. The chat was great, and they offered the same as Dogs, and I was like, you know what, I'm pretty much done. I'm going to Penrith. And then I just didn't say anything. And Penrith were obviously really good at keeping it under wraps too. That
Oh, how good's that?
yeah.
What's the difference with coming in your second time to Penrith to the first time?
Oh, team culture.
Yep.
So the first time I was there, had some funny guys like Jamie Soward and Mansell.
Yeah. Was Mezza there? Trent Merrin?
I don't
Maybe not yet.
think I played with him. No, I don't think I did. I don't think I did. I think I just missed him. But we had, it was just like a older school locker room, and they were sort of split with the older guys were in one,
Yeah.
and then the younger ones couldn't
really?
fit, so we sat on the outside bit.
Yeah, that was...
So
you're a bit intimidated, weren't you?
yeah, it was just like a strange setup. I know they couldn't help it either. It
Yep.
wasn't like they were trying to do it on purpose or anything like that. But when I got there the second time, it's like, mate, you had all these guys who were just, no one thought they were the best.
Yep.
They only thought they were the best to themselves. Like, everyone in there knows that they're the best, right?
Wow.
But they're not doing that to make them feel good about themselves.
Yep.
They're doing it to like for their drive. And then when it comes to working, they're just like, the intensity of training is off its head.
So it's like you sort of say to some blokes, "Oh, geez, he's like a test match at training."
Yeah,
They're all
like, mate, it is like the contact most of the time isn't through the roof, but
Yep.
just the intensity. Like, everyone's moving.
So is
at,
that what
like,
this
100.
is a little bit off topic, but you hear about the Cameron Soriato stuff at the Bulldogs?
Yeah,
Like, he's trying to incorporate the Penrith stuff there.
exactly. Yes, and
Yeah.
man, it's so hard because like I grew up in the era of Michael Maguire,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you got flogged.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a
The old blokes know what it is.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So that was just normal, right? You did that, and honestly, once you become a good enough team, that falls away.
Yeah.
You can you take out the contact, you take out the other stuff, and you're that good at it that everything just sort of flows. That's what happened at Penrith. So the intensity the first year was crazy.
Yep.
I was there, and then the second year we sort of like tweaked it a little bit, so the contact wasn't so
Yep.
high and the demand wasn't so high, and then it just became like this well-oiled machine where we all knew where the contact levels were, how
Yep.
hard we should go, but the intensity was always there.
Crazy, eh?
It's off its head.
And then that was the COVID year too, wasn't it? That first one.
2020, yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it was.
2021, you make your debut for New South Wales.
Yeah,
So you were in the squad, I think, for the first 2 games, 18th man.
correct.
Yep. And then game 3,
Yes.
you get the tick, you get the
Yeah.
nod.
Yeah.
How did that feel, mate? How'd you find
Right.
out?
That's a good question. Game 3. Oh yeah, I think we were in camp. I'm pretty sure we were in camp, and he
Yep.
was just saying, he's like, look, man, you've been a part of the squad for first 2 games. We've obviously won the series already. He's like, I'd love to you to be a part of the actual team and
Yep.
play a game this time. I'm like, I was 100%. I was like, whatever you
good
need.
day.
Yeah, man. It was like
And you got a try on debut too.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate.
It was yeah. So
that was when played all 3 games in Queensland, wasn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's had the series sewn up.
Yep.
Oh, how good's that for
Mate,
you?
it was off its head. Honestly, like I always used to say to myself, "Oh, I'm just this little kid from Regent's Park, like this little Fijian kid." I think it was like an excuse I used to say to myself, so I didn't like let myself down if I didn't
Yeah,
make
yep,
things.
yep.
And I just remember running out into that stadium and like sea of blue, and like got like maroon. And I was like, "Bro, I'm here." Like I said that as I was running out onto the field, like in my own head, I was like,
So
"I'm
good,
here, mate." And then just energy depleted. It's so fast.
It's a quick game.
It's so hard.
And then we speak about 23. Your first year Tigers. You come back obviously a little bit later after the World Cup,
Yes.
but you chose to come in a bit early, didn't you,
No, I think that was David.
David? Oh, David.
David
Okay.
came.
Oh, okay.
I
Yep.
was due back on, I think, January 3rd or 4th.
Okay. Yep.
I came back January 3rd or 4th. I was like,
People don't understand is you need that break,
"Nah,
especially how big not just the year before. You've had 3 massive campaigns,
mate,
which you wouldn't have had much break from.
yeah." And it's honestly, it's like the one thing that I learned about myself, like everyone's an individual,
Yep.
right? Like they can feel how they want to feel or do what they got to do to make themselves feel good.
Yep.
Me mentally is like what I need. So if I need to like not do anything, like I just need that break. I'll come back. I'll give you everything I have, but just for that time, I just like I'm out. I'm out.
It's what people need, just a complete refresher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it gets long.
And
The
then
season gets long.
so you do the preseason. You
Mhm.
get named captain of the club.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was that? Brand new at the club. Did the players select it? Did the coaches select it?
Yeah, it was a player and coaches voted.
Yep.
So it was like a voting system. I don't know how they did it, but everyone just voted for 2 and 1.
Yep.
But yeah, I ended up getting announced as captain. Sheensy actually asked me too. He's like, "Do you actually want this?" Like, I know you. No, he was like, some guys just want to come their first year and just play footy. I was like, "Nah, look, I came here for a reason. Like, I wanted to lead this club.
Yep.
Somewhere." But yeah, took it on board, man.
And then obviously you've gone from Penrith that loses 3 games a year.
Mm.
You've gone to Tigers that only won 3 games this year. How was it at periods? Through that season, was it as tough as it looked?
Mate, it was. I think it was just one of those things where you just didn't have the answer. So like that's what makes it so hard. Is like if you had the answer, then maybe you could, work towards some. But
Yep.
we just didn't have it. We just did not have the answer, and it was getting tough, man. Like I feel sorry for some of the other guys who try so hard, right, and they're just given like absolutely nothing back. It's tough. Not in terms of like other players, but just in terms of the win, the satisfaction of the
so close. And yet, I remember when we played against you hadn't won a game yet, and we just scored a try. I think it was 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And like I was pumped that we won, but then I felt for you blokes like, oh man.
A lot of we started getting taunted at the start, getting mocked, and it turned into a point where it actually turned to pity. And everyone was like, feel sorry for him. Like that's how hard it was getting.
And you said you sort of looked like you tried, mate. You tried that hard. There was times where I've seen you play. I think you were playing halfback, hooker, 5'8" at the same time. You were kicking, you were goal kicking. You couldn't have tried any harder. And there was one picture after one of the games. I think you played against Newcastle up at Newcastle, and you're just looking at Big Clem like, what do we do?
Yeah, he's one of those guys too that just leaves everything out there and wears his heart on his sleeve. And yeah, well, like the hardest thing as well is like being the captain is like you're meant to lead.
Yep.
But it's like it's just hard when you don't have any answers for any of the boys. And yeah, looking forward to this preseason.
Yep.
Tell you that much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to actually getting out there and put some things in place.
That's good. Yeah, I thought you led by example. You were the best player all year, mate.
No, thank you.
And then you play Origin.
Yes.
But then I remember the lead up to that game. It was sort of like 50-50. Then you come out and one of the best performances I've ever seen before that Cowboys game. Oh, that Cowboys game, sorry.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Did anyone tell you that week? Because the way you played that game was like, geez, this bloke.
No, our whole team was on another planet. It was crazy. Everything we would try and, everything that we did in previous games that never worked just came off. The boys were there. It was great. It was crazy.
And then going in that, you would have been so confident going to Origin.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. Oh, obviously, them putting their faith in me too to be their only hooker. I thought it was incredible. Obviously, like you said, you grow a leg at those points, and yeah, unfortunate not to get the win.
Yeah,
it was a tough one at the end. But yeah, it was awesome to be back in camp, and especially get looked at after our team wasn't going so well either.
Well, it just shows you how good you're playing, mate. Like, you could be on a losing side, but you're putting your front foot every week. And I think, was it just after that Origin, you break your jaw on Tino, wasn't it?
Yeah, next game I think I played.
How was that? Like, just because I've never had a broken jaw, but they reckon that's one of the worst injuries.
Mate, I have had that many injuries in my life, and this was by far the worst one.
Really?
It hurt so bad.
Oh no.
Yeah, just pain-wise, it was the worst.
Like, what did you eat, or did you have to suck through a straw?
Nah, they didn't have to wire it shut because it was sort of cracked in these two
Okay, yep.
spots. But it was just soup for like the first week.
Yep.
I was nearly spewing up from like soup after day 4 or 5.
mate.
So I started blending some KFC.
Oh, stop it.
That one worked a treat.
Oh, that's all right. And then, so obviously, you come back for the back end of the year.
Yep.
I remember I was commentating a game of you. It was against the Dolphins. You get that penalty. Oh, no, was it penalty? No, it was a penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah,
From
penalty
from your little kickoff.
Yeah, the
little
short.
cheeky short drop out, short kickoff. Were you straight away, I'm taking the 2, or did you think maybe we should go for a try?
Nah, 2. I think a few times that year we'd not taken the 2, and we'd just been so close at the end.
So you like
And
it?
this time I was like, you know what? There's 2 minutes left. I'm taking the
Yeah,
kick. If I miss, I miss. Who cares? Like, that's what it is.
How were you feeling doing it? Were you nervous? Were you?
I was saying after the game, that exact spot,
Yep.
I bet Brendan Wakeham and Zane, whoever misses this or furthest away has to walk back in the undies from 30 metres back on that left side. And I was the only one that hit it out of us
Stop
3.
it.
Yeah. Snuck in that bottom left corner and I hit it.
Oh, because
And
that's a far kick.
It is. Oh, yeah, for me as well.
People
Like,
just think it's the sideline, but you took it back 30 metres.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was-
back 30 metres.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah. So Wakeham, was in his undies walking back to training, which is nice.
Suck, dude. Wake, he's a cheeky bugger.
He's a
too.
man.
He's a cheeky boy.
I love him. He's
And then,
the
yeah, so
best.
you kick that. Mate, I remember seeing the smile on your face. Doesn't it hit the crossbar?
Yeah.
And it just goes
dips over, yeah.
Oh, mate.
Oh, mate. Even when I seen the bounce and pop over, I was like, well, that's why I laughed and did the face because I didn't realize, like, I thought it was missing.
Before we finish, mate, I've got this set of 6, so we do it with everyone. They all get the same questions. This is about teammates. So footy players,
Teammates.
all right? Teammate you'd want to be by your side in a fight.
Great question. I'm gonna go Fanua Pole.
Fanua Pole.
Yeah,
He looks like he's a genetic freak.
mate, proper. And they're in there boxing, like doing
Oh,
extras
really?
every like Monday or
I
Tuesday.
remember that the game that came off the back fence against Canberra.
Oh, that was hectic. Kickoff.
Unbelievable, mate.
He's awesome.
Unbelievable. He just looks like he's just so fit and strong.
He looks like he can throw him too. So
I'll be walking the other way. Then, I feel. Hardest decision you've made?
in footy,
Yep.
mate, that's a good question. Oh man, I don't even. I don't know if I've had to make any really hard
Really?
decision. My life's just sort of
So it
flown
doesn't, they're not
into
really
another.
hard. Just go in, not even leaving clubs.
because all the times I've had to
Yeah.
sort of leave, it's never been like you get a
so it's
choice.
been a good decision. They've been good decisions
Yeah,
for
they've
you.
all
That's
been.
all
so I
right.
don't mean,
Favorite game you've played in?
oh man,
You've played some games too.
Yep.
You've played some good games of footy as well.
there's some.
Any that you just remember and you just go, ooh.
Well, the first one that popped in my mind was that Fiji one against New Zealand.
Oh, yeah, I remember you said that before earlier.
That one,
Yeah.
that was one of the favourites I've ever.
I remember, that was one of my, I love watching that game.
Mate.
Like, anyone that likes rugby league, go watch that one from 2017 World Cup. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Most influential person in your career?
man, that's a hard one. I'm gonna say Benny Gardner, my under-20s coach,
Oh,
who's
wow.
now with I forget.
He's
I
with
think he's at Penrith.
He's at Penrith now. He was at Tigers last year. Yeah.
He kicked me from like being the not soft, but like sort of worried about myself sort of guy into just get it done.
Getting you knowing that you can go to the next level. Unbelievable. Wow.
Crazy, yeah.
Oh, geez, Benny Gardner. Get a couple more out there. Your favourite celebrations? You've had a couple celebrations in your time. Come on, mate.
Favorite? Oh, it's got to be 2014.
So I've got one more
Grand
question
final.
for you on that one, actually. What happened to the ring?
Bro, that's it's hilarious.
Because it ended up in
I ended up in a Darwin
Darwin.
drug den.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, what was I going to say?
That's all right.
That's-
Well, you don't know how it got there.
That's what the coppers said. No, I took it to a promo. Mate just opened a gym. Or
Yep.
mate's mate. So he goes, "Can you come?" So I brought the ring with me, showed everyone and whatnot, and then honestly, it's the last time I remember seeing it. And then I
Wow.
see this Facebook ad from the police.
So did you know you lost it in that or?
I was looking for it everywhere. I
Oh, okay.
turned the ex's house upside down. The
Oh,
car. I was looking for it everywhere.
Wow.
My house. Could not find it anywhere. I'm like, you know what? It would have turned up. Honestly, it was that la-di-da about it because I didn't think I lost it. And then all of a sudden, the ad comes up.
Did you get questioned by anyone? Or?
Yeah. Oh, not really like interrogated, but
Yeah.
when the coppers came and dropped it off, they were like, mate, Do you know any bikies in the Northern Beaches? Because I'd already signed for Manly by the time I got it back.
Okay,
So it was like a year and a half
Yep.
later. I was like, bikies?
Yeah.
There's no bikies in the Northern Beaches, man.
Oh, crazy,
But yeah,
mate.
it was good.
And then the last one, 3 blokes you'd take on a car trip across the country that you've played with.
Wow. That I've played with.
Yep.
I'm going to need some interesting fellas here. Sam Burgess.
Yep.
I'm going to take him. Who else? Mitch Kenny.
Yep. 30s crackers.
He's cracking, man.
Yep.
Sam Burgess, get us in anywhere. So famous. So we'll use him for the fame. And then Mitch Kenny.
And who finishes it off
Isaac
with?
Tago.
Isaac Tago. Really?
That's my man. He's like a philosopher in a 21-year-old's body.
Yeah, they reckon he's a lot older than what he is. No social media, no nothing.
Nothing. Walks around with a flip phone at training, so he's not on his phone.
Really?
Mm.
Well, he's an absolute weapon, mate.
Bro, he's a gunner.
Oh, he's a freak, mate. Anyway, well, thanks for joining Woodsy's club tour, mate.
Thanks for
I
having me.
appreciate having you on, mate. It was a very insightful journey.
It was. Thank you for having me, man. That was great.
And enjoy your rest of your holidays, big fella.
We'll do so. You too.